Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing another foundation review. I know I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I'm going to have quite a few foundation reviews going here. I hope you guys are okay with that because I have just been really into foundations lately and just trying different ones and seeing how they react like with my face, my texture, all that stuff. So we're going to be reviewing the Colourpop No Filter Sticks. This is one of the new foundations that Colourpop came out with. I have previously reviewed the Colourpop No Filter Foundation, which is the regular cream foundation in a bottle. If you guys want to watch that, I'll leave it up here in the eye. Just like all my foundation reviews, I'm going to be doing check-ins periodically throughout the day. A little disclaimer before I get into the video: if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. I am a no filter bitch, so I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth, so keep that in mind while you are watching. So if you guys are interested in how the Colourpop No Filter Stick performs, then just stay tuned. I am so proud of myself right now. It is 10 o'clock. Well, it's about to be 10 o'clock. So I am super duper proud because I was actually up by around like 8:30 today. I was super productive already. I have a really busy day ahead of me because today is our Christmas party that I'm holding at my house. So we're gonna have a lot of friends come over. My husband and I are gonna be cooking all freaking day long. We have ham, turkey, all the sides. Anyways, let's go ahead and go in with the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. So I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face. I did not use my NYX pore filler today because of some of the claims on the foundation. I just went in with my Too Faced Hangover Primer. I love that stuff, especially for dry skin. This foundation I got off of the Colourpop website. This is in the shade Fair 7N, so basically neutral because I'm seeing W, N, and C, so I'm thinking it means warm, neutral, and cool. This is the second shade from the lightest shade, and I feel like this was lighter than the 5 because the 5 is a warm tone. I feel like I have neutral undertone. This retails for $10, which I think the price point is absolutely amazing. Now, this has 9.5 grams, 0.34 ounces of product inside. The only other stick foundation that I have is the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation, and this only has 0.21 ounces, 0.21 ounces, and the Colourpop one has 0.34 ounces. So this one has a little bit more than the Makeup Revolution. Let me go ahead and read the description for this so you guys will understand why I did not put the pore filler primer on. So this says, swipe, blend, and go with no filter sticks. It conceals, corrects, and perfects for a flawless complexion in seconds. Its medium buildable coverage instantly blurs pores, covers blemishes, and blends effortlessly for a natural skin-like finish. Never cakey or drying, the stick glides on for the easiest application. We're gonna see about that because I do have some blemishes that I need to be covering up. Here is the packaging. I like the packaging. It's just simple white packaging from Colourpop. The shade, I'm not sure if it's gonna match me. I feel like it's going to match me. My closest shade match for foundation is the Tarte Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation in Porcelain. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually swatch that on my face so you guys can see. I feel like I should do this with every foundation review because if you're close to my shade, maybe it'll help you pick like the best shade possible for you. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation in Porcelain, and since I already have the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation here, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch that, and that one is in the shade F2. This is also one of my close shade matches. It is a little bit lighter than the Porcelain, so I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the Colourpop right below. Whoa. I actually feel that the Colourpop is more my shade. It's almost like perfect. I feel like the Makeup Revolution one is more of a pink undertone and the Colourpop one is more of just a regular neutral undertone. As usual for my foundation reviews, on this side I'm going to be going in with the Microfiber Fusion Sponge, and then on this side we're going to be going in with the Flat Top Kabuki brush. Just swiping this, I can kind of already see the coverage, and I feel like we're going to have a good coverage day today. With stick foundations, I don't normally like using the Microfiber Fusion Sponge because it kind of like pools on my face, because stick foundations are a little bit, I've found, thicker than any kind of like liquid or cream foundations. But we're just doing this to see if this is, you know, if the application is the same or different, which one gives more coverage. It is blending very nicely, but I feel like this sponge is kind of taking away a little bit of the coverage because this is not medium coverage like at all. If anything, it is like high low coverage. I'm not really sure that the sponge is gonna be like a good contender for this type of foundation. So what I'm gonna do is on this side, I'm gonna go ahead with the brush and then probably end up finishing this side with the brush as well. And we can also find out if this is actually buildable like it says online. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this with the flat top. It is clinging to a little bit of the dry patches that I have on my forehead, so I don't know if this is gonna be a good foundation for dry skin. I'm normally really dry during this time of the year, so this might have to be like one of those summer foundations depending on how it wears and oxidizes and all that good stuff. On this side of the face, I'm getting definitely less coverage than over here. I'm really hoping that this is buildable because I still need to cover this friend over here that I got. All right, so let's test if this is actually buildable. I'm gonna go ahead and add another layer all over the face. I do like the brush application more because I don't feel like I'm tugging on my skin as much as the sponge, and I feel like because of the little hairs on the microfiber fusion sponge, that may have been why my foundation was kind of like lifting off my face on the sponge side. But with the brush, it's blending everything very well. I do gotta say, this is definitely buildable so far that I'm noticing. It's kind of weird because it's giving me like a kind of dewy, overly dewy look, almost on the edge of like oily. Now I'm going to zoom you guys in so you guys can see what is going on this mug. This is definitely clinging to my dry patches, especially on my forehead right here. You can see all the freaking texture, plus because it's clinging to my dry patches, it's adding more texture. It is covering my little friend here pretty well, but I am just really not liking how cakey this is starting to look, especially on my forehead. I mean, look at all this texture that's going on my forehead. Like, I really do not like that. I don't like the way that this foundation is sitting on the skin. I have no idea why, but it almost looks oily to me, or like there's a lot of oil in the foundation or something like that. Of course, on my chin, it's like any other foundation. As soon as I put any foundation on the chin, it just creases. Around my nose is looking pretty okay. Now, I will say for a fact, this does not blur any of my pores at all like it claimed on the website. You can see here that my pores are very much out to say hello, so I would advise to use some kind of pore primer with this foundation. So with me, I have the Colourpop No Filter Concealer and I have the No Filter Sheer Press Powder, and we're going to use these because I want to see if these actually go with this line of the brand. I mentioned in my last video that not all lines inside of a brand go together, and by that I mean brand. This is Colourpop and the line would be the No Filter Complexion line. What I'm saying is sometimes the foundation does not go with the concealer or the concealer doesn't go with the foundation. So that is why I pulled these out so we can test if this line actually all goes and works together. So I have the No Filter Concealer here, and this is in the shade 2, and I believe this is the fairest shade aside from the white. For some reason, it is like a super different like shade range, if that makes any sense. Like the concealer is way lighter than the foundation, which is totally okay with me, but you want to make sure that this is blended very nicely and evenly with your foundation, or else you're just going to have like this concealer line and then foundation is going to look completely separate. I actually feel like the concealer blended very well with that foundation. Now I'm going to go in with the sheer press powder. This is in the shade Fair. I'm just going to go in with my little puff here, and we're just going to dab into this powder and set the face. I'm not going to set the forehead because it is already looking very dry and kind of cakey. Also, I'm a little afraid that I'm not setting it though because it's kind of already separating, which is weird. I'm not sure if I should set it or if I shouldn't set it, because I feel like if I do set it, it's going to add more cakiness and more layers, and I gotta say, this powder looks okay, but it does not look the best with this foundation and concealer. At this point, it is on the verge of being cakey to me. So I would advise either using a different powder, not setting your face, or maybe using not the concealer foundation and the powder combo. I just really do not like this type of like layers. I just feel like there's so much crap on my face right now. One good thing that I am noticing though about this powder is it does add a little bit more coverage, which I definitely like. And not only that, but even though the foundation was clinging to some dry patches, actually it's mostly on my forehead, but it didn't make any of my other dry patches like appear, which most powders powders do. It's almost like as soon as you put a powder over a foundation, that's when you see all your dry spots like come out on your face, because the foundation gives it a little bit of moisture, and then you put the powder on, it just sucks all that moisture right back out, and you're left with feeling matte and crusty and dry. And I have to say, this powder does not do that, which I actually really like. Now that I have all the concealer, the foundation, the powder all set, I'm going to call the check-in time at 10:30. Look at that, it's before 12 o'clock. Now I'm gonna finish the rest of my face up and I will be right back. So I actually almost left the house without filming this part of the video, so I'm really glad that I remembered. It is now 11:47 and I have to go run some errands, do some shopping. I actually have all my stuff on right now because I'm actually ready to just leave the house. So for my eye look, I went ahead and used the Picante palette from Carity. Love this palette so much. It's super pretty. For my contour, I went with the Smashbox Step by Step contour. Now this is a travel size, just to let you guys know. I do leave my links down in the description box, and I don't know if people actually look at that, but if you're wondering why this is so teeny tiny, it's because it's a travel size, because before I used to never contour as much as I do now, and so that's why I bought the small one, because this is actually when I was first starting to start contouring. For my cheeks, I'm wearing the Flower Beauty Flower Pots powder blush, and this is in the shade Sweet Pea. I'm trying to go back and forth between this and the Milani blush. For my highlighter, I use the Amrezy highlighter. I've been talking about this a lot in all of my videos because look at it. How can I not talk about this highlighter? For my lips, I went with the No. 7 Moisture Drench lipstick in Tawny Rose, and then on top of that, I went with NYX Turn Up lipstick in the shade Stone, just to kind of make it a little bit more cool tone. For my mascara, for the bottom and for the top lashes, I use the NYX Worth the Hype mascara. And last but not least, for my lashes, I am wearing the Worth It lashes from Boldface. I am really enjoying these lashes because these, I feel, suit like hooded eyes without looking too big and without covering my entire eye look. That's all that I have on my face, and so the check-in time is going to be 10:30. I'm gonna go ahead and run my errands, get some last minute stuff before I actually start cooking for the Christmas party. I also have to give one of the dogs a bath, and so this foundation is going to be put through the freaking ringer. Of course, I will be doing my checkups periodically throughout the day, and hopefully I can get some decent lighting, because I know in the last foundation review it was like super orange and yellow because I was in my car. So hopefully I have some good lighting this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that stuff, and I will see you guys in a couple of hours. It is now 3 o'clock. I have been wearing this foundation for a little over 4.5 hours, and I gotta say, I am looking like really dewy. I do this because I feel like I look a lot more oily than I do dewy. I don't know if you guys can see, but like the sides of my nose here are basically falling apart. My pores are so fucking porous. Like, I just cannot with this. I've never had this before, and right here it is already just falling apart on me. I don't think that this is gonna last all day long because it is already 3 o'clock and I still have at least 8 hours to go. I may have to take this off early when I get home. So far, I'm just really not liking this foundation. I don't like how it's falling apart on me. Surprisingly, the forehead is still intact. It's still there, but you can see in this light how much texture that it is accentuating. Also, my little friend here is peeping out, so I honestly have no idea how much longer this foundation is gonna last. Hopefully it lasts through at least half of the Christmas party. I will see you guys in a couple more hours to do another check-in. I'll probably be home by then, and hopefully this lasts another like 3 or 4 hours. If not, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. Alright, so this foundation is looking shitty as fuck. This is basically rubbed off my face, my nose. There's almost nothing on there, and this cracking and creasing and all this weirdness. The sides of my nose look really roady. My forehead still looks okay, but I just look like a greasy hot mess. So I'm actually going to reset my face with the Colourpop powder because there is no way that I'm going to be taking Christmas photos with this. I do not like this foundation so far. I mean, look at that. I look like complete shit right now. This is definitely a foundation I'm going to have to say no to as of right now. I will, like I said, reset it and then find out how this looks afterwards. But as of right now, this is a big hell no. I still have a lot of cooking to do and preparation for the Christmas party, so I'm gonna go do that. and I will check in again after a couple of hours and after I have set my face. It is now 9:44, so I have been wearing this a little over 11 hours, and I have to say this foundation is a hell no. I even got comments from my friends saying that my face looks oily and greasy, and this whole thing, just the T-zone all around here, everything is just kind of breaking apart, and there is no way that I would keep wearing this. I mentioned earlier in one of the check-ins that I was going to reset my face with the Colourpop pressed powder, and I did just that. Still, my face is just falling apart, and I cannot stand it. I'm actually going to take this off because I have to take Christmas pictures, and there's no way that I'm going to be taking any pictures with this foundation on. So this foundation, you guys, I'm sorry to say, is a no-go. I'm not even like a super oily person, but my face just looks so oily and greasy and just really just not here for this. I honestly don't know how else I can make this work, so I'm gonna have to maybe try and keep using it. I'm not sure if I even want to attempt to use it again, so we shall see. Alrighty, so that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please get a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or if you simply want to talk shit, leave it on in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye! You got